Yes, people, we're back. Is this the post-match reaction? Everyone who just watched the entertaining game against Luton will be thrilled with the result, but maybe not with the performance. But we're going to go into it with our two trusted guests. That's Bath Time and Dora. How are you guys feeling after that? Wow, what a game!
Needlessly stressful. That's how I feel. Needlessly stressed. And yeah, we will talk about it further.
And Bath Time, I know you're hungry, but we weren't exactly hungry for goals with one-on-one situations today, were we? I mean, look, we got the result anyway, but how are you feeling after that?
I'm unhappy. I mean, how we're 3 points off top four, like, astounds me. But I think we've got a lot to get into today and some conversations around some players and so on. But yeah, a bit worried.
So much to go through. It was just action-packed all the way. Big T, how you doing? We've got the points, but Luton are the winners today. They were punching, weren't they? Definitely punching. DK Wilson is saying game could have been easily 4-2 to United. Yeah, we had a lot of chances for sure. DK Wilson shouting out, Dora, Dora, Dora. Pass the ball, Dora.
Well, I will pass. I mean, not like, the likes of Rashford and Garnacho, but we'll talk about it. I'm excited for this stream.
Good one. Big up to Rasmus from K9. He's a K988. How you doing, man? How you doing? Good to see you. Look at your profile picture. Oh, I can't work it out, but big up K9.
He's already on the drink.
Yeah, that's a mug. Is that a mug? Anyway, big up K9. Welcome to the show. Let me know how you feel about it because we're going through the game. Big T saying here could have been 8-4 to Luton. DK, wow, what a game, what a game! But it started magnificently. Guys, the starting lineup we didn't get right. He went with Onana, Dalot, Varane, Harry Maguire, and Luke Shaw in defence. Luke Shaw, I didn't see that coming. Thoughts on that, guys? Selection-wise.
Reckless, in my opinion. I wouldn't be surprised if the player said, "Oh, I'm ready, Gaffer, I'm ready," and he starts, and of course he's not ready. And I think that's where the medical staff needs to intervene, because that's not how we need to preserve players. Like, this is Luton, this isn't prime Barcelona from 2009. Like, we needed to have someone else cover for that spot. Is it Amrabat? Would it be, Lindelof? But, we found out pretty quickly that he wasn't fit enough. And, yeah, I was really surprised by his selection.
So you what was the word you used to describe the decision there? You said...
Reckless.
Reckless.
Stupid.
Is it not desperate? Is that more like someone...
Maybe. Yeah. Maybe, but I'm not sure. Maybe, I don't know if it's from the manager or is it from the player, because we all also heard, at the beginning of the season that Martinez played through injuries until that Bayern game where he couldn't even walk anymore, and he was playing through injections because he wanted to. Okay. Why are we, as the club and the medical staff, letting that happen? Like, this is Luton. This isn't freaking, Champions League final. I'm confused.
Well, it's down to the manager. The manager picks the team sheet. Emma's saying here, Luke Shaw ran like there was nothing wrong with him. Could have been something that he couldn't see or feel. Bath Time, decision on that. I mean, we don't know the ins and outs of details, but he was a risk, wasn't he? Do you think, do you agree with Dora that that's reckless or maybe even desperate?
I'm more with you, to be honest. I think it was a fearful decision from Ten Hag. Like, we saw against Brighton earlier in the season, Wan-Bissaka come on for 5 or 6 minutes and was then out for, I don't know, a month, 6 weeks. The medical team had informed Ten Hag that he was in the red zone and was a risk to play. The medical team, they don't pick the players. Ten Hag does. And every footballer will always lie through their back teeth to tell you that they're ready to play and things like that. And I think that Ten Hag was desperate to get a left footer into that team, combining with Rashford. And once again, he's made a choice that could really come back to bite us, because we don't have Reguilon. Malacia, I don't know who he is, where he is, where he's gone. Like, no idea what's going on with that boy, and we should have got a left back in on loan or extended Regions loan for over past January, and I think that it's a decision born of fear from Ten Hag. He knows he needs that for this ridiculous style of play that he has out of the back.
Yeah, you said he's going to come back and bite us, and so has Canine with his canine teeth. He's saying need consistent starting 11, too much rotation, but sometimes it's forced upon us, isn't it, Dora, through injuries and that kind of thing. Just going through, Dora, the midfield, we started with Kobe, Casemiro, and Bruno, and we were talking like in the preview about maybe McTominay getting a game because he scored a goal. Is he the super sub? Is that stamped in him now? Is he down as a super sub? Because he doesn't seem to be starting games. And then talk about we started with the front three. I don't think there's any questions marks about the front three, is there?
No, I think we kind of, most of the fan base expected this midfield and how do you say it, front three, because I mean, I think BATHTIME said it last or few streams ago when McTominay scored again, is that Ten Hag needs ace from the bench, and I think he now wants to use him for that and nothing else. I mean, it doesn't help that we have a dire bench. We have an awful bench, in my opinion. Most of them are youngsters, and McTominay is probably, besides maybe Johnny Evans, who in the end had to come in and save the day, he's probably our best player of the bench, and I think Ten Hag needs that ace from the bench. Mino was solid. Casemiro is, you cannot drop Casemiro unless he is, making awful mistakes. And, Bruno, that guy needs to play every single game. So, yeah.
So, last time, and we did talk, didn't we, about McTominay? This is a perfect game for him to start. He didn't start, but he did get on the pitch once again as a sub. So, if you're McTominay, would you be like disheartened, or do you think he's a club man? He doesn't mind.
I think he will be a bit disheartened. Ten Hag spoke before the match about how he said McTominay deserves to play, but I can't pick 12 players. And obviously he's not happy about having to come on from the bench. He wants to start. I would be unhappy with it, especially as I think Casemiro has been fairly poor for the last 3 or 4 games. And I mean, there is somewhat of one of these conspiracy theories about how all refs hate Casemiro. They hate him so much that they'll just send him off the second they see him. And we got a hell of a lot of luck today with Casemiro not going off.
That's a lot of luck.
Yeah. I mean, but yeah, I think that Kobe should play 6, McTominay should play 8, and Bruno should play 10.
Yeah, we've gone through this over and over, but yeah, it's just schemes seem to start the same side. A few comments here. Garnacho's still very young and inexperienced. Now we just need to work on one-on-ones with him. Big T saying we looked more of a threat after McTominay came in, to be fair. Double A saying all our bench players are international, apart from Forson. Big T again saying it is acceptable. Is it acceptable, firstly, that we were hanging on for 3 points? And secondly, the manager accepted it and made the subs just hang on, the question mark again. Double A saying Garnacho can't be missing those one-on-ones, man. And Emma saying here, Malacia, we're talking about the left-back situation, had a setback in his recovery, unfortunately. So he's out longer than first expected. And for sub-vids, how you doing, man? He said, wow, lucky us. Now, was it lucky? Because we had a great start, didn't we? Oh, my God. 37 seconds in, you just settled down. And this guy, Hojlund, man, he's on a streak right now. If you're a betting man, first goal scorer every game. Hojlund, he scored again. Just talk us through that goal, because he put a lot of work in, didn't he, sort of to chase it down. Sometimes you're running, you put the speed, you go 3/4 pace, then you go full pace, hoping something would happen. And he got some good luck there, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he always does that. He's always running at the defenders. He's always, ready to run and chase that ball, even pressing. And he is quite fast for his height and everything else. So yeah, I think it was an awful mistake by the Luton defender. He was quicker than I think it was Tedamengi, and great finish by Hojlund. You could see that when he came off in the 80-something minute, he was dead on the feet. Like he ran a lot. He was dead. But yeah, kudos to him. Great ball and great effort to go to reach for that ball and score it in the end.
Bath time. You talk about scoring, but when you got confidence of that to round the keeper, start me way back because he was running deep. There was nothing on. It looked like they were going to play it home, play it safe, but he anticipated something there. Then he was 1-on-1, and he showed the boys how to do round the keeper and slot it away. Just your thoughts on the whole goal in general.
Well, it comes from Casemiro playing an up and under, but don't discount Garnacho's work in that. It was Garnacho's press that led to Hojlund getting the opportunity, and it shows the important structure of having a rest attack, like having a 4-4-2 block and being able to hit it out and put pressure on people. I mean, you won't see many goals scored like that in the Premier League, but that's why you defend. That's why you defend in a 4-4-2. And to be honest, I thought when I first saw it, I didn't think wasn't convinced he was going to score. I thought he hadn't done it properly. And then as I saw other examples during the game, I thought, actually, yeah, he did that really well. Delighted for him. He's done something crazy now, like scored six. He's the youngest to get 6 in 6 or whatever it is. But for Man United players, he's up there with Cantona, Ronaldo, and that's good company to be in. And like Dora said, when he went off, not only was he knackered, his shirt was now brown instead of white. He was just like, what a dirty game he had everywhere. But it was a great start to the day, and I have to confess, I thought we were going to have a bit of a stroll. Okay, but actually, there was something I wanted to ask you.
Yeah,
if you're Colin Bell or whoever it was, how do you recover from an error like that in the first minute?
Colin Bell is passed away. He's a Man City legend. Also a good friend of mine. The guy who made a mistake, the Jamaican boy.
Yeah, Bell.
Okay, Bell. I can't remember his first. Yeah, it's a Jamaican boy who played that pass. I feel for him. I mean, it's horrible, isn't it? You want to sort of play at home and get comfortable and start. You want to start as you mean to go. And imagine all the team talk, all the build-up, all the warm-ups, everything else. And after 37 seconds, you're doing something stupid like that. I mean, come on, man. You need character, don't you? I believe if something like that happens, you don't want people shouting at you early on. There's plenty of time to get back into the game, as you showed with Luton. With the stats the other day about they always score in the second half. They push on. They had to show character, and I think when the team seemed like a real strong unit, they would have backed him. He's Jamaican as well, because if they would have cussed him, he would have cussed them back even worse.
Can we learn anything from? Can our team, because when we get setbacks, we don't respond the way that Luton did. Can we learn anything from how, you saw when Casemiro got his yellow, he was just calling out Garnacho. It had nothing to do with Garnacho. It was on him. And when Bell conceded, no one was on at him. And he ended up playing pretty well, I thought, for the rest of the game.
But BATHTIME, didn't you notice that has been happening throughout the whole season? Not just Casemiro. You have Bruno. I mean, he's been a drama queen as a captain. Of course, I don't mind him moaning. I don't mind him moaning to the refs. I really don't care. But when he's screaming at his teammates nonstop and he's having a stinker game in, week out, I'm not very. It's a foul for me. It's a minus for me. I really don't like that kind of mentality. If you're having a bad game, you take the accountability, take the responsibility. Don't yell at young players, because Kobe Mino, I don't know about the positional things, and maybe he could have done it better. Blah blah. He has been amazing today with the way he controlled the ball, with the way he. Calmness, that guy is as cold as an ice. He has ice in his veins, and I think the senior players like Casemiro and Bruno should take notes from him, because he's been miles more mature than them, especially this season. He's an 18-year-old kid who just came in, and you're screaming at your younger teammates, and because you're not playing very well. And I really don't like it. I love Bruno. I think he's been great, but this is his first season in the Manchester United shirt, and I don't think it will get better. I don't have a good feeling about it.
Yeah,
I
I
think,
I agree, Dora,
yeah.
because I feel you've got to support your teammates because, like, it doesn't matter about social media. It doesn't matter about the manager on the pitch.
Yeah.
You got 10 friends, and you got to be a band of brothers and all look out for each other. And when
Yeah.
you see the monstrable shows of like Bruno's passive aggressiveness, shouting at Casemiro, shouting at Rashford, like the ball doesn't get to him, he starts crying. And then he's also doing stupid stuff in the last minute of the game, unnecessarily putting pressure on us. But I just thought it was so interesting how that guy Bell, he'd made a terrible mistake. It's happened to everyone. No one was on at him. They left him, but they know him, so just leave him by himself. Get it together and go on. And I didn't see. I've never seen that from our team, and I feel it shows that we're not really a collective, and it's worried me. Omondi, you're pointing at me. You like these words, don't you?
Both of you, what you said there, I totally agree with you. I mean, look, these Luton boys are brought up. You know, they were dragged up. Actually, they've been dragged up. Our boys are kind of luxury players, and you know, when things go wrong, they can sulk, and you can see the difference in the physicality. Someone putting their head in where it hurts and going extra mile, being strong. Whereas we were sort of, when the ball was in the air and jumping around, we were just jumping and turning our back and not really showing any kind of that sort of desire. These guys, I think they can get over it. They've been through harder stuff. And these guys talking about wages, they're not on the same wage. It's like night and day. So I'm really pleased the way this guy showed character to get over that. Because a lot of people can fold in those situations, you know?
Yeah.
I think there's more chance you folding when you're under the spotlight like at Man United than at Luton, for example. You could hear, anyone watching the TV could hear the fans over the commentary and what they were saying, what they did, the swearing, the attitude. I love it. I love little teams like that. And the performance they did today, you have to give them credit. And you're right, Bathtime, to bring that up as a talking point, because the guy's head could have dropped. They could have been battered, but they showed, not just him, as a team, they showed character to come back into the game when at one point, like you said, and I think we all agreed, we thought, boy, let me get my pipe out and slippers. We're going to cruise this, you know? So anyway, let me just go through a few comments, because this is the first goal. Obviously, you know, it's the boy again, Hojlund, sorry. 3 points are the most important things to be. Emma saying here, we've got 3 points from Luton, more than some can say, and we fought for those 3 points and didn't give up. So maybe we are showing character. Big up to Beefy Mario, 20 months and Luton are coach better than us. Eric Ten Hag, Innes, please explain your support. I repeat, 20 months and Luton play better football. And that's from Beefy Mario. Big T saying here, you need performances to consistently get 3 points. DK Wilson saying, for real, there's no excuse for Garnacho to not pass the ball after he botched his final dribble more before a pitiful attempt. Beefy Mario, again, this is an entertainment product. After 20 months, Luton are more entertaining. This says everything, guys. Eric Ten Hag is almost nothing in 20 months with his team. Big T saying here, Luton fans are blessed having a team that shows a good count of themselves week in, week out. Emma again saying it's the whole we lose together, we win together. That's what we're kind of missing. Big T, after watching Mainu and give Bruno instructions, do we need to make Mainu captain? A bit early for that. Mainu talked to Bruno like he was the captain. Love to see it. And Bart is in the house. How you doing, Bart? He hasn't been banned. He's still here. The game showed good, bad, and ugly of United. Good was Rasmus, sorry. Garnacho's talent, and bad was defensive organisation, inability to control the game. Ugly was Casemiro's challenges and the injuries as well. DK Wilson is agreeing with Bathtime and Dora. Bruno and Casemiro just adds to the notebook of who to replace this summer. And Big T finally saying here, we gave up large parts of the game. We 1-0 up after 37 seconds. Not long after that, Rashford had a shot. Garnacho set him, and Rashford was sniffing around at zone 16, stood there and had a lovely shot.
14.
Deflected. 14, sorry, slow zone 14, just outside the box. And he could have slotted it. I felt he could have slotted it, but when he hit the defender. And at this point, I think, okay, more to come. And after 7 minutes, guys, Garnacho had a shot from the area again, and it's chested into the net. Goal, intentional or not, Dora?
It was intentional. Big-chested Hojlund once again. I thought it was an offside at first, but of course it wasn't. The two Luton players were putting Hojlund on side, and he was there, but he did really well. He kind of directed the ball. He saw that Garnacho is shooting. He saw the ball coming to him, and then he, kind of misdirected it on the other side of the goal. And I think it was a great goal. It confused Kamensky and Luton defenders. I'm so happy for Hojlund. I think that we had how do you say it? We were scared that he wasn't the best finisher in the world. He still isn't. He's kind of iffy on that, but he's been much better at finishing his dinner, I would say. He's much better in the last few weeks, and which is better than most of our attack, and I'm really glad for him. He's been pulling us through these games with his goal scoring, and I hope that he doesn't stop, because if he stops, then we're dead in the water.
Talk about that goal bath time, because I think a few months ago maybe he wouldn't have been able to pull it off. Is it down to confidence when you're on that streak and scoring goals that you could just chest it in like that? He did improvise there, but it was intentional. Maybe. Do you think so?
Oh, it's 1,000,000% intentional. Like anyone who's played football knows that little maneuver. Like I was actually quite surprised he didn't try and use his whatever your arm joint is at the top. I've completely forgotten my physiology. What's that thing where your arm and your neck, the bit in there? Yeah, but the top of your arm, like the top of your shoulder, we just sort of like Maradona sevens, you knock it up.
Oh yeah, the point of your shoulder, is it?
Yeah, I can't remember. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Dora, for pointing it out. I thought he was going to do. I thought he's going to do it like that, because we've all done that pass before. That's 1,000,000% intentional from Hojlund. I think it's that's improvisation. I think even under a bad run of form, you just react and do that, and I think it goes in. I agree with Dora. It's really, really nice that Hojlund is scoring goals. I still had some issues with his build-up play, his hold-up play today. I thought his combination play was really, really good. He plays it simple, plays around, like in particular Garnacho was giving him lots of nice little support angles, and you can see that there's a raw player there, but a good player, and now the goals are flowing. Things look better, but unfortunately, that hold-up play that we always talk about was pretty crucial for Luton's first goal, as it was Hojlund that lost the ball under very little pressure, and that's why it's so important.
For sure. So they scored again. Luton scored, made it 2-1 after we had such a fantastic start. I think it was after 13 minutes, and our old boy Chong, I don't know how he can see like a goldfish. You've got to see it. His hair is everywhere, isn't it? It's just like you can only see forwards, blink and view. But he done well, didn't he? He got into the area, managed to turn Varane. I thought Varane could have maybe been a bit tighter and stopped him from turning out. But he had a shot off, and someone asked a question here about the goalkeeper, sort of questioning the goalkeeper. Should the goalkeeper have done better, for example, with that, with the goal? What do you guys think? I mean, let's think about Homer. You took it way back bath time. I didn't get that far with Hojlund giving the ball away. But obviously, once they do get into the box, should we deal with that a lot better, guys?
Of course. I think that, first of all, I think that Tahith Chong is quite fast, and I think that we let him have so much space, not just in this instance, but throughout the whole game. That guy was running at us nonstop. He, as you said, OMONDI, Varane was kind of a bit far, but you know what? It is what it is. The cross is there. But I think that the defending overall was quite poor. I think that Shaw, who kind of fell, who kind of had to deal with Morris. Is his name Morris? I forgot.
Yeah,
sorry, Calvin Morris. We talked about him in the preview. he's obviously, quite big and, quite fast, as we saw today. And Shaw isn't small nor weak, in my opinion. I think if he didn't fall asleep there, I think that guy isn't scoring that goal. But of course, he's ball watching. He is ball watching. Shaw in that instance, he's not looking at the player. He was in front of him. Like, people will say, like, that time you sent me that gif of Haaland scoring on Colville the other day. I don't think it's a bit similar, but not in because I think it was preventable in this instance because Morris didn't jump 300 feet in the air and isn't as athletic as Erling Haaland. If Shaw just looked back and saw, oh, he's coming from behind, I think it should have been preventable. Onana's, acting as a Patrick Star like this. I mean, I wouldn't fault him that much for the goal. I think the defending from his, defenders in front of him was poor. And I don't think that maybe if he came out, earlier, but in these situations, it's sketchy. And, you guys are football guys. I'm curious what you think of, Onana's maybe bad reaction or whatever.
Well, look, Big T saying here, if the keeper chooses to come out, he has to get the ball. Now, they're putting it on Onana, but I would say it's the other guy as well. Should even get round to that. You don't let a guy like Chong, who's weak, make him turn. Yeah, you can let him turn you in the box like that. Varane is a problem. You shouldn't let him do that. He's not strong enough to let you roll you, and give you a sausage roll from Greg's, as they call it. You roll you like that and then get a cross off. You don't let that happen for me. I think I would be pointing fingers at him before he even gets to Onana. But Big T says Onana has to get the ball. What's your thoughts on this? Once you get to the box by half time, if you had to point fingers and have a go, who would you point fingers at?
Well, I think that the more interesting stuff happens outside of the box. First of all, there's the lack of hold-up play from Rasmus. That happens. Okay, like you have to be prepared for that. On the eye test, like last week or the week before, we talked about the ridiculous man marking that the centre backs do, and Luton were exploiting this, and this is why Barkley and Sean had so much space in between the lines. Like, I don't know if you remember on Monday, but there was a bit where Delo cut out a cross where he had to go and cover centre back because Varane had been dragged out into a wide area, and once again, Varane got dragged out in a wide area, and I feel that it's just idiocy from the manager to keep playing this way with two centre backs that can't do it. And as like the ball comes in, I'll have to look at it again. But Dora says, so you say that Shaw was ball watching?
Yeah, he was ball watching. Yeah,
right, Amanda. In that situation, if you loot Shaw, are you defending the ball, the man, or the space?
I don't remember that bit. I remember the Varane bit. That's where my focus was. But I will refer back to the thing you put in the group chat about Hojlund getting in front of Colwell. And I think in that situation, Colwell was running back, facing the goal and the ball, but he wasn't facing the man who ended up to get the header in front of him and leap in front of him. So I think you got to be watching the man and the ball, not watching your goalkeeper and the ball. So if you're defending those situations, you got to anticipate where's the danger coming from and where's the play. So you got to shape your body up in an angle where you can see the play, see the man coming in, and read everything. It's easy to read. Just turn your body, just face up the right way. I have to go and check out the Shaw thing because obviously the ball flicked off someone and gone over there. I don't know about that. I can't really comment. I'm not qualified.
The keeping is a disaster, though.
Yeah, sorry
Dora. I just want to say the keeping is an absolute disaster because when we talk about ball, man, or space, like with a goalkeeper, it's about the ball. When you come out, you're focused on the ball. You go to punch it, you go to catch it. You don't go out and play. There's a TV show over here, Dora, called The Wall. And what happens is a big wall comes at you and you've got to get into a certain shape because there's a hole cut out in that wall. And if you don't get in that shape, you get bowled over. And like Onana came out like a star man, like trying to make himself big. But there's no need to close an angle there. You either go for the ball or you stay. and you wait for your defenders to deal with it. And I think that when you look at all the individual errors, I think the biggest one is the goalkeeper there, because I just don't see any other goalkeeper in the Premier League, to be perfectly honest, making that mistake of just coming out and basically presenting an easy goal, because he doesn't go for the ball. And I mean, like, Onana, he drives me wild, because I thought he was okay today. I thought he helped take the sting out of the game. I thought that he probably would have saved that corner at the end if it had been on target. But then he goes and does something like this. What can we do with him? He doesn't know the basics of goalkeeping.
Honestly, I've been rewatching the replay of that goal, and you are right, Omondi. I think Varane. I think he was a bit far from Chong. I think he should have done better there. But Chong shoots the ball, right? He turned around and he shot that ball, and it kind of ricochets from Maguire. And then you see Morris he spins around Shaw, who reacts maybe 1 or 2 seconds too late, because the guy is already off. He's fast. He's already looking at the ball, because he's ball watching, right? It kind of ricochets from Maguire. And then if Onana, as BATHTIME said, and I'm actually agreeing with you, BATHTIME. I think Onana is so poor here, because if he stayed on that line, this guy is not scoring a goal, because it was a weak attempt in the end. He could have got, like, if he stayed there, he catches the ball, it's not a goal. But of course he goes like, Patrick the Star, like what is he doing here? And the guy scores. Of course, this isn't like this actually reminds me of how goalkeepers are defending in the handball, because the ball is so small and the shots are so from the close range are so fast. A goalkeeper needs to either go with reflexes, or he needs to close out those angles. But of course, this isn't a handball. This is football. Yeah. And I think here decision making from Onana is poor. I think that even though he is is a bit better with his shot stopping, he's these fast decisions, last second decisions are so poor. And but I cannot blame only Onana for this. I think Shaw has been at fault for this goal as well. He was just ball watching. He didn't see, like, if the guy, spins around you, you need to stay in front of him. You cannot, it doesn't matter if it ricochets or it goes out of the corner or something. Like, you need to stay with your man all the time. And I think he fell asleep there, and that's a huge mistake from my point of view.
Funny, isn't it, that we all see it differently. BATHTIME's gone way back to Rasmus not holding up the ball.
Yeah.
He's talking about the goalkeeper. You're talking about Luke Shaw. I was talking about Varane. So there's every goal is going to be a mistake, but here we can see a couple, maybe 3 or 4 in the build-up to that goal. Anyway, let's move on. So now it's 2-1. And from having the momentum, Luton, the fans are on it. They think it's on now. And they start bringing it to us. And obviously, our boy Shaw got booked. The winger was really painful, wasn't he? Shaw just stuck his body out and blocked him. Said, no, I can see it. I'm square on. You're going to knock it past me. Like, it's old school, isn't it? It's no trip, no frills. Knock it past you and run. And he got booked for that. Deserved, of course. No doubt about it. And then Maguire had a free kick, which he tried to take early to pick out Kobe. Oh. And that sniped out. And that was nearly a heart and mouth moment for him as well. He would have got pelters if that would have been gone in. So Maguire...
There was something about that really annoyed me with that free kick, which is that the guy that did it about 5 minutes earlier had got a yellow card for encroachment at a free kick. And when Casemiro is on, should have got his second yellow, the Luton team all surround the ref. That guy slid in on Maguire and took him out, and no one went to try and pressure the ref. And I thought it was really amateur stuff. You agree, Dora?
Absolutely. With the way, Bruno has been moaning a lot as a captain, I didn't see him there. He wasn't there. He wasn't there in that moment. And I thought in my mind at that moment, like, where is he? He should have been there.
Okay, so
Maguire should have been down longer. I actually think he did actually injure himself in that a little bit, like his knee extended. Yeah. But Maguire should have been down like the bench should have been up. Everyone should have been putting pressure on the ref because that guy. I think their big boy got injured in the warm up or something. He was
right.
He wasn't expecting to play. He wasn't prepared for it. We could have got the frighteners on Luton, and they could have been thinking, do you know what? Our striker next 50-50, if he goes in with his elbow or something like that, he's off. And instead, 10 minutes later, that big pudding is on his knees, like praying to the gods not to get sent off.
Yeah. So look, let's talk about it. So in the 33rd minute, Casemiro got booked. He stuck his leg out. He does this quite a bit, trying to pinch the ball, but he's so late with it. And then in the 39th minute, so 6 minutes between them, he also went in and got another foul. And obviously that's when, like bath time, saying that the players were going off. Emma's saying here, I did quite like Ten Hag taking off some of the guys in the yellows who became reckless. Shaw and Casemiro both pulled away at the last second of the challenges after yellows as well. And she's also saying here that we would probably have got a fine if we were talking to the ref like we did like that last season, like you were saying there, bath time. So Casemiro, once again, I don't know how many bookings he's got. Do you have to have 5 bookings before you get a ban or something like that these days? I'm not sure. But then Maguire got booked in the 41st minute. So this is because it's panic time. Well, you have to take tackles. He stood up, and I think it was a good yellow to take, I believe, because the guy, Morris, was trying to knock it past him. He stood up this time and just brought him down outside the box. He took a card for that one. And then, at half-time, the subs came on. It was Shaw off and Lindelof on at half-time. So Shaw for the injury, but then obviously we've got players on the pitch with yellow cards, which had to be dealt with because of the way the game was going. Could you trust? I mean, you asked me the other week, bath time, about Casemiro being booked, and I said, no, it's okay. I think we're playing Villa. I said, no, it's okay. I think he'd be all right here, but I didn't trust him today with the situation with the game. I felt he was not used to this sort of style of football. I didn't think he was used to the physicality. I think none of these players have, they're going to come out of there blowing, thinking, wow, that's different. That's definitely different. So at halftime, what are you thinking? We started well, poor towards the end of the game, 2 bookings. Is it worries? I mean, what's the manager doing? And at halftime, he did make the subs, didn't he? He brought in McTominay for Casemiro and Evans for Maguire. Now, what do you rate the manager for this, doing it so early?
Yeah, I don't think he had a choice. Certainly with Casemiro, I think Maguire might have picked up an injury. To be perfectly honest, well, the thing is because of the way he asks his centre backs to play, of being really aggressive, touch tight, like in their own half, asking to take fouls. I mean, we saw Varane do one the other week on some Villa player on Watkins to stop a breakaway. The second that you get like one of them centre backs on a yellow, it kind of negates what Ten Hag is trying to do. Right. But he's trusted Maguire with it before. I thought Johnny Evans was immense when he came on. My only complaint is him becoming an auxiliary centre forward on the 87th minute, which I'm not happy about that. What on earth that was about. But he also changed the shape a little bit in the second half, which is what he did against Villa as well, where McTominay starts off in a 4-4-2 block, helping Rasmus with the pressing up front. This is really important because Rasmus, as Dora said earlier, was dead on his feet, like on about 75th, 80th minute. McTominay's up there helping him with his work, and then McTominay drops back like into a sort of 4-5-1 block that allowed Garnacho. I know people are very unhappy with Garnacho, but Garnacho's defensive work today and his running is something to be celebrated. Like, obviously he's messed up on a couple of occasions, but my God, did him and Dalot do extremely well in the second half to shut down that Doherty guy or Dowie or whatever it was. And a lot of that was because McTominay was next to Bruno and Mainu, allowing Garnacho able to get out and double up. And I felt it was a good I thought it was a good move. But the thing that improved us the most, unfortunately, was not having Casemiro on the pitch because, well, I mean, I said to Big T at half time that I would have brought Ericsson on because I think that this is a game for just simple passes. I worry a bit about Scott getting the ball stuck under his feet and things like that. But McTominay, after a dodgy 2 or 3 minutes at the start, just began playing simple passes. They all began playing simple passes. And I felt that even though we didn't control the second half, we were far more in control of the second half because we didn't have Casemiro launching the ball. And Bruno obviously had instructions to keep it a bit more simple. And this is why I don't want Casemiro in the team, because the second he's on a yellow, he's absolutely useless.
Yeah.
Like, he's actually getting out of the way of challenges instead of making them. And I don't think that he offers enough protection mobility-wise in order to sort of get him back and stuff. So I felt that McTominay, I felt Evans made a huge difference commanding the defence, and I felt that McTominay just playing the ball simply to the wingers and allowing Garnacho to get out with Delo helped us actually kind of shut them down in the second half, and it was a much better performance.
So obviously no goals in the second half, but when we look at the data, there's 43 shots between both teams. I entertained. I mean, as a neutral, 43 shots in one game. There's a lot of shots on goal or shots, attacking plays. It's a lot. And if you look at the data here, they had 56% possession compared to our 42. But 9 shots on target for us, and a lot of them we were getting clear one-on-one, especially in the second half. Don't you think? Because the first one came from me was from Onana. He sort of played the ball long.
Yeah.
And the low ran from the right back position or from the right over to the left wing and picked up the ball and got a one-on-one with the keeper. And unfortunately, he couldn't get a shot off or something. Then Rashford had a shot following good play and team pressure. And then in the 59th minute, Bruno was played in by Garnacho, and he rounds the keeper. This is Garnacho. And what's his name? No, Bruno rounds the keeper, sorry. And the guy, Lokongo, is a guy from Belgium, guy from Arsenal, made a lung-busting run and got back. Was it Bruno or Garnacho? I'm getting confused.
It was Bruno.
It was Bruno. Sorry. Garnacho, like you say, Garnacho played in Bruno, and Bruno rounded the keeper, just like Rasmus did. And that guy came over. What do you do there in that situation? Do you see him come in and let him slide and then just hesitate? Because I don't think Bruno's done much wrong, Dora.
I don't know. You lift it, don't you?
Yeah. I was just going to say. I was, talking with the girls in the group chat. Like, why didn't he lift it?
Okay,
Yeah, the same thing as BATHTIME said. Like, maybe lift it, but I mean, I thought at that moment, like, there is no way that this team is going to miss 3 more sitters at least, and then they did. And you know what? You're like, okay, they are scoring next one. But I think it kind of, that one moment from Bruno in that game where Lokonga, like the law a few weeks ago, stopping. Yeah, I mean, it kind of showcases his season with United right now. Like, he's been quite poor and he isn't very lucky. Like, he does, it's like the luck, left him, unfortunately, and and sometimes the ability, unfortunately, which is sad. But yeah, I've been harsh. I've been harsh, but as a captain and our best player, apparently, I think he deserves the criticism. I mean, I've been backing this guy, like, he's been atrocious this season. But great defense, like, great in the end, great passing from Garnacho.
Yeah,
Bruno was in the good space there. He was running into space. Unfortunately, Lokonga came back and blocked it. But yeah.
Last time, I mean, you said dink it, just lift it a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not a goal scorer, OMONDI, so I always feel a bit self-conscious talking about how a player should score a goal. I did score again today, though, but I don't score goals.
Well done.
But one thing I do remember a guy who scored a lot of goals telling me was that if you hit a shot, you always want it 8 inches. Like, it's the hardest, in between the feet and the hand of the keeper. But the thing is this is the level of the Premier League. And this is why Bruno's got to be better, and why Garnacho's got to be better in these moments, because we do a lovely passing combination. We've suckered Luton in. Luton are committing so many men forward, and United, great transition team. We perfectly occupy all the spaces. We get Bruno running through. He rounds the goalkeeper, and to give credit to the goalkeeper, he gets a touch on it. He does well with that. But in those moments, you have to expect that Premier League defenders are going to recover, and that you can't just do a basic finish. You've got to keep concentrated and put the correct finish on it. And I mean, Garnacho. The other thing is that I'm sure Big T is probably going to bring this up, but time and again, McTominay was completely open in the box, and it wasn't given to him. And the thing is that our forwards in the first half, our midfield, with the exception of Kobe, were febrile. They were overexcited. They had no control on their emotions. They were banging it forward, and it was causing problems for the forwards. And in the second half, the forwards were the ones that were overexcited and to whatever. And Dora brings up Bruno and the captaincy. One thing that I think United could benefit from, certainly when you look at Johnny Evans' work in the second half, is a more calming influence of take the correct amount of time, not like Garnacho, like whatever he was up to. Just the coolness and like the lack of emotion. Because when Bruno misses that chance, I was like, Jesus Christ, he's going to get banned by the FA, because I thought he'd kick the ball into the crowd, and stuff like that. And that's not right. I expect that from someone like Kobe Mainoo, who is a child. I don't expect that from a fully grown man as captain of Manchester United. Like, I really think that these players need a leader or just a normal human being who is able to control their emotions. Okay. Because that's what it felt like. It felt like the players weren't in control of the goal scoring situations.
So Big T saying if Fulham get that amount of chances to get like Luton did, they're going to beat us. Emma saying here, doesn't it go up to the 10 yellow cards at some point in the season? Talking about Casemiro. Garnacho did play well defensively. The question I have, will BATHTIME give Ten Hag some credit for his changes? Hydro saying here, my arse was twitching like a bunny's nose in the last 5 minutes. McTominay was in acres of space multiple times and overlooked, says Big T. And DK Wilson again saying Garnacho's failure to pass and then take a really lame shot was really most disappointing. The one where the keeper touched it on wasn't the Bruno one; it was the Garnacho one where he rounded the keeper.
No, Bruno, the keeper, got a touch on Bruno's as well.
I didn't notice that. I put the touch one was when Rashford played in Garnacho and he was in a 1-on-1 situation. Remember, Garnacho,
he got touches on both of them.
Oh wow! Well done, keeper. Then well done, keeper. So I felt Garnacho, in that sort of situation, you just got to, I don't know, go.
Is this the one where he's dribbling about? Yeah.
He ends in the second phase where he starts dribbling now and get on his left foot, and then he messes up completely. But the first time, you just got to be more clinical. Obviously, rounded the keeper, fine, but just do it more clinical. We've seen Bruno, we've seen Rashford, Rasmus as well do it. They're messed up. But let's move on quickly because we need to wind this up. So, and then Bruno had a free kick, was punched away from the goalkeeper, which was good. By this point, we're having a lot of chances on goal. We're starting to get back into the game, a bit more control. And Mainoo got booked. I don't think it was a booking. Unfortunately for Mainoo, he got the ball. I don't know if you saw that, Dora.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was clean. It was clean on the ball, but apparently the ref thought that because Mainoo kind of, for a moment held the Luton player a bit before he made the tackle, like that, explains the yellow card. I thought that the ref was, I don't know, he was okay, but every time I see this guy, ref, he doesn't have a great game. I thought this was a mistake from his part, but it is what it is. Like at that moment in time, we are just praying, okay, please end the game. Because I'm going to be quite honest with you guys. Like this second half was the longest half in my life. Like I'm watching the game. It's 63rd minute, and it felt like, and then I look again and it's 68th minute, and it felt like that was 20 minutes, that the 63rd minute was 20 minutes ago. That was the longest half in my life. I don't know why. Maybe because the game was kind of, it was a bit, shaky from our guys as well. I know BATHTIME said we kind of controlled it a bit better, but still we were conceding some, really close, chances from Luton. In the end, that was it Chong or Lokonga, whoever, that post in the end, the other time where they almost scored. It was shaky, and it felt so, and the ref didn't help with the constant, like, this is a foul, this is a free kick, this is a free kick, and it felt really long, and I was like, oh.
I don't think we can blame the ref. Like, he let us off with Casemiro today.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
And with Kobe's one,
yeah.
It's a bad call from the ref. But if you slide from behind, like, you have to expect these kind of things. I mean, Kobe did struggle with the channel running power of some of the Luton players, but I think I would give he was our definite, like, the best performer over 90 minutes, Kobe Mainoo. And I think he showed today that he should be on the ball more, like, and not playing this right-sided midfield position of just running about. That doesn't get anywhere near, like, the use out of him. I mean, in the first half, he like, under pressure from three men, he was like safely dribbling out from pressure, opening them up. Like, Ross Barkley was seen as the sort of ball-playing player for Luton. He was nowhere near the balance or composure that Kobe was showing.
Yeah.
Like, absolute dream of a player.
Keep talking. I love this. Keep bigging him up.
Kobe Mainoo is brilliant. Like, it's just, I think that the midfield should be set up to accommodate him now, rather than, like, shoehorn him in.
I mean, you second that, Dora, about superlatives that BATHTIME's talking about Mainoo? Because I thought, this is why I've done this this PowerPoint here. I just thought he's unbelievable today.
Yeah, I think he showcased that he needs to be further up the pitch, or he needs to be like our designated, either number 6 or number 10. I don't think he's a number 8. He was absolutely amazing, immense today. He's so mature for his age. It's absolutely insane. I haven't seen this in many years. Like, people forget that this is a rarity, right? An 80-year-old kid who got kind of, like, people are saying, oh, Ten Hag had him in his plans, that he got injured, blah, blah, blah. No way in hell. If we had a stable season, I don't think that Kobe Mainoo would feature that much in the midfield. We got massive amount of injuries. He was injured, and he kind of, he recovered. He came back in, and he was, from the moment, from that first moment, you could see that he is so special. And today, he was absolutely amazing. Only superlatives for him. He's been our most mature player in that midfield. As I said, earlier in the stream, a lot of senior players need to look up this kid and see that, see how you should play football, especially in the midfield. And I hope that this club is going to lead him to the progression that he deserves, because at this moment, like BATHTIME said, we are just shoehorning him to accommodate in the midfield, to accommodate the likes of Bruno and all that, Bruno, Casemiro, or some other players in the team. I think I agree. I think he needs to be a focal point in that midfield and be played around him.
I got some famous quotes here. First one is, if you have control of the midfield, you have control of the game, and you have more chances to win. That's from Xavi Alonso, a famous player. When you control the ball, you control the score. That's from Pele, famous player. Football is played with your head. Your feet are just the tools. That's from Frilo. We know he's a famous player. Some more famous quotes here. One from Hydra. He says, Mainoo's the real deal. And only 18, he played great again today. Emma's saying here, very famous Emma to us, as she said, the composure maturity from Mainoo is probably the most surprising thing about him. Love it. Hydro saying here, he's been like that. He plays like he's been in the Prem for years. Yep. Big T, Mainu will win a Ballon d'Or. Have no doubt about it. DK Wilson saying to Bath Time, where do you want to see Mainu play? Where do you want to see him play Bath Time? Bruno's spot?
Behind the ball.
I
don't want him. I don't like. I want him. Look, if you saw today, we had some outrageous risk taken in our build-up play with Anana, Varane, and Lindelof, and Kobe was the one dropping into the pivot role and playing lovely little 45-degree passes to Delot. And although a lot of that was down to Delot's work rate and understanding of the fullback position, over the years, we have seen every single central midfielder from Pogba, like from the quality of people like Pogba, getting pinched there. Mainu, they weren't close to touching him. He's a player that I want on the ball as much as possible. So I would prefer him in a deeper role rather than a more forward role where I feel his physicality might be an issue. He's a growing boy. And I also agree with Emma. Where I was trying to think what player I've seen in the Premier League of this age who is as composed and mature. And this isn't a popular one, but the only one I can think of is Michael Owen. But Michael Owen he was so boring. But he was composed, like maybe Shearer when he was at Southampton. Like they were composed and in control of their emotions and saw the picture around them. And I look at Casemiro, who is acting like he's like in a pantomime, like the last couple of games, and I see Bruno acting like a teenager, 14 years old, being told he can't go to Dave's party or something. And then I see Kobe. Kobe doesn't give it. He doesn't care. He just gets on the ball. He does his job. When he needs to, he'll produce the quick feet and stuff like that. And then he gives it simply. And he's the only one of those three in the midfield that will give a simple ball that allow you up the pitch. And that's why I want him deeper, because he's the only one who sees the picture and understands like how to get people up. And it's so disappointing that Bruno Fernandes and Casemiro are being shown how to play football by an academy graduate with not even season of Premier League football. Really worries me.
DK Wilson, that's Bath Time's take on it. I think it's amazing that you compare Casemiro, who's coming up to his 32nd birthday soon, and it was a storm out there, but he was the calm in the storm, wasn't he? I just honestly, guys, it's very not often. My favorite player is Valderrama. I love Valderrama, the way he plays midfield. Simple, composed, can't rush him, roll you, turn, pop, pop, pop. Just he's got that mindset. It's the brain thing as well here to be able to sort of control the game. So these quotes are so spot on. You control the ball, you control the score. I think if Mainu wasn't there or someone like Eriksen in there, we would have lost that game today because we would have given the ball away and panicked so much. So 18 years old, I worship this dude. I think he's slowly or very quickly becoming my favorite player in world football, and not just the plays for Man United, but the style of play. I advise any young player to go and observe how calm he is on the ball.
Shout out to the academy as well, Nicky Cox and like the head of development. Like they played a huge role in getting a player like this, and also like Garnacho is the absolute opposite, where he's not mature and he's overly excitable and stuff. But I know everyone's annoyed with Garnacho, but you have to credit his defensive work today. Like it's levels from what I saw when he came on against Valladolid like a year ago or whatever. I'm really impressed by the young players coming through and their work ethic, because we need it.
Yeah, I think that he's still raw, Garnacho. I think he will get mature. He will mature. I think that he's still learning. As you said, Matt, that time he's looking miles better than he was, less from what we saw last season. And I think you can see, even today, even though he missed 2 sitters, I'm seeing him passing, looking for the passes much more than I saw it, earlier in the season or even the season before. So, and as you said, shout out to Academy. In some in the last 10 years, we didn't see that much of Academy. I thought that we are kind of dead in that. In that, like, of course, Rashford, came out, but we didn't dish out that much, talent as we did, before. But yeah, kudos to academy. I mean, as it seems, we are having two gems in our hands with Garnacho and Kobe Mainu. So I hope that maybe next year we are seeing someone like the left back from, I can't remember who, but
Fernandes.
Alvaro Fernandez.
I think there was. I think he went on a loan, but I mean, maybe him, but the younger guy in under 17. It doesn't matter. I hope that we see much more from the academy. So yeah, kudos to them, and proving us Manchester United fans wrong, saying that the academy looks dead, but it obviously isn't. It looks great.
Hopefully, Ten Hag will be wearing that Infinity Gauntlet. He's already got 2 stones, one for Menu and one for Garnacho. We just need 3 more, and then we will.
I don't want Ten Hag wearing our Infinity Gauntlet.
Why do you think he's going to click his fingers and it will go wrong? Everyone will disappear.
I mean, the only person I'd less like to see wear it is a Nana because he bloody dropped it.
He wouldn't snap, half of the, universe's population. He would snap everyone, even himself.
I doubt Nana can clap successfully, to be honest, based off what he was.
All right, guys. Want to pick up Lucky Singh. He's saying here, club is in the right direction. Also, big up to Solo, the Man United agenda Solo. Yes, he's saying love to everyone. What do you call it? You said this the other day about his emojis.
CPR.
CPR, that's right.
Yeah, he's changed it. He's changed the heart around.
The clubs, this is good. Clubs in the right direction. Guys, come on. We keep keeping tabs to take one game at a time, as they say. Looking at this now, it's good for us because Tottenham lost at home to Wolves the other day. So we've closed points on them. And we're still 5 points off top 4 with Villa. But 25 games gone. How are we looking? I mean, good result today, 3 points again. Are we distancing ourselves from Brighton and co? And are we sort of closing the gap on the top 4? Are you still feeling confident, guys?
Look at that goal difference.
I mean, if we get top 4, it will be a miracle. I'm not still convinced, but it will be a miracle. But of course, Spurs are doing Spurs things, and Villa isn't as good as everyone thought. That's my opinion. I think they are going to fall off even more. But if we get the top 4, it will be a miracle. A miracle.
God, that's such a bad result against us with Villa. Like, if they'd beaten us, so they had the opportunity to, they'd be on 52 points.
Yeah.
And really up in the title race. I think I agree with Mr. B. I think we should actually be a bit more worried about Brighton than catching Villa or Tottenham at the moment. One game at a time, go out, be hard to beat. It would just be compact, be hard to beat, make the correct decisions, get team selection right, find a way of replacing Luke Shaw because Lindelof. I quite like Lindelof, and once again, I felt he did better than people probably thought today. But he then did some sort of somersault instead of a challenge and get on a yellow. And that team is picking up yellow cards like you wouldn't believe at the moment. So we need, I don't know. I think we need just more control of games and of the players' emotions. Like everyone's too excited and tense and stuff. And I don't know. I don't know if we'll do it or not. I don't really trust this team, but we are on a run. Confidence is high, and we're getting over the line. So maybe we can do it. What do you think, Omondi?
I think, look, I'm just going to check it after each game. I'm confident that we can do it. Villa, Spurs, that's 5 points. I think teams will drop points. Mr. B makes a great point here. Villa in Europe, if they go far in Europe, we could be out of it because of the commitments they have. Don't really have that much of a strong squad. And I think they will be happy to play in Europe. There's something different for them, isn't it? The fans aren't used to that. So I think it's possible. I think anything's possible. But the thing is, what I really love is that we're not in no man's land. You talk about Brighton dragging us down. As Mr. B says, Brighton is still in it. Brighton were very fortunate today, playing against Sheffield United. Mason Hallgate, or whatever his name is, made a terrible challenge and got him down to 10 men. And that's a reason why I think there should be fights in the changing room, because poor Sheffield United, all up against it, and then they go to 10 men in the first few minutes of the game. Unbelievable that he would do something like that. So I think Brighton had it easy today, but then we are 6 points off them. I think we can forget about them for now. Let's look up. Let's look forward. And
give us percentages, Amondo. Like, give me the percentage chance of finishing fourth for Villa, Tottenham, and United.
Right. I used to be big into the bookies. My dad was a big time bookies man and understands that speculation and things like that. I think the bookies will be, when they look at it like here, they would understand that Villa and Spurs are not conditioned and not a big club like us where they can get top four. It would be, great for them, but I think Man United have to be second favourites behind Villa at the moment to do it because of who we are. Is sometimes you have to consider that. We're such a big club. We're renowned for doing things like this, getting in the top four. We belong in there. If you look at that like now, and that was the end of the season, you say Villa top four, wow. Like last season, you say, where's Liverpool? Yeah. Where's Chelsea? Do you understand? There's a thing about, this is why big clubs are so big. Don't be confounded by it. They always find a way to get themselves back where they belong. And over the course of a season, whether it's the player quality or something always balances out. And I think teams should be where they belong. And I think Man United, after last season's third place, we're starting to get our act together now. And I think that's the goal. And I think we're putting pressure on these teams above us.
What's the percentage?
The percentage for me, I'm doing by odds. I would say at the moment, top four odds would be Villa would probably be about 4-1. Spurs would be about 5-1. And I think Man United would be about 4-1 as well. Equal.
Same as Villa?
Same as Villa, yeah.
So is that 4-1 means it happens 1 out of 4 times?
Not 1 out of 4 times. It means you put a tenner on and you get £40 back. So anyone else in the chat know about betting? 4-1. So we'll be second favourites basically behind Villa. Villa should be favourites by clear because they're 5 points off us. But because of who we are, I think we'll be second favourites just behind Villa the way things stand right now. I'm liking how the league. I'm really proud of the boys this season. This year, 2024. I'm being.
Can I get a percentage chance out of Dora instead of odds that I don't?
I don't know about booking. I never bet, but I think we have. Oh my God, numbers, maths. Just a sec. I think Spurs are going to choke it out because they are Spurs. No disrespect, but that's who they are in the last. That's their history, choking jobs. Let's see. So they have probably 20% of going in. I think we have around. I think Villa have around 40%. That's it. We have 30% because I need more. As BATHTIME said, it's game every week. We need to focus on that one game and try to scrape a result. We will see. I'm still not a believer, but of course, as a Manchester United fan, I hope it will be a miracle for me if we get to the top 4 after that abysmal start of the season or start of that first few months of the season until January. I would say. I think it will be a miracle for us to get the top 4. So yeah, I would say 20 to Spurs, 30 to us, and 4. Did I say it well?
1 out of 3, 30%.
Yeah,
3 out of 10. Yeah, 1 out of 3.
Yeah, I don't understand
looking, but
high. Yeah, is it? Oh my God, I'm dumb. Sorry.
I think we've been so poor this season, and the team.
Yeah.
The table never lies. Yeah. How we're in this position where we could do it is crazy to me.
Yeah,
25% chance. That's what DK was saying. Joe, I just looked at the odds. So I said 4-1. It's actually 5-1 for Man United.
5-1.
Yeah, they're 5-1.
So that's 20%.
Yeah. So at the moment, Spurs are 5-4, and Aston Villa 11-8. Which is a bit be amusing. So Spurs, according to the bookies, are the ones that are going to get top 4.
Yeah.
Interesting.
No
But-
other competition.
Yeah, good shout.
They're out of the FA Cup, aren't they, and the League Cup?
And they made some additions during the January break as well, having more forwards like Werner and things. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting leading to the end. But we got the points today. That's what's important. What's on for the rest of the week, guys? Are we doing an eye test tomorrow?
Yeah, we can do an eye test tomorrow. I'll see what I think of during the day. But yeah, we'll have something tomorrow.
Unanimous that our man of the match is Kobe Mainu as well.
I'm close to Evans, but I'll go. I'm happy with Kobe, but I am very close to Johnny Evans.
Well. I agree with you, Bart. I thought Evans was magnificent today in defence.
Yeah.
Coming in like that. But just another thing as well, Dora. We said Mainu was man of the match by far, but is there anyone else you want to give a special shout to, or just a little mention about their performance today? Because to be honest, we showed a bit of character to be down on our luck a little bit in the first half, and hold on and things. So is there anyone else you want to give a special mention to about today's performance?
Yeah, besides Evans, I would say Dalot. I think he's been great. Of course, Garnacho is there as well, but I think Dalot has been great as the helper in the midfield, as a right back, and as a attacking full back as well. I think he's been great, and kudos to him. I am more and more convinced that he is our player of the season, and if he doesn't get a shout for that by the end of the season, I think that's rigged, to be quite honest with you. But yeah, he's been absolutely amazing for us, and the most consistent most consistent player in our team as well.
100%.
Any love for Amrabat? Isn't he funny when he came on?
Yeah,
he's magnificent. He's a beautiful man, in my opinion.
He runs. Did you laugh at that bit where he was? I think he's running at Ross Barkley in a straight line, and Barkley just turned in a circle, and Amrabat was halfway up the pitch. He's just jokes, man.
You started this bath time. You started this. I cannot take the man seriously anymore. Poor guy. But yeah, Amrabat, good to see him back on the pitch today. Squad depth as usual. I just want to mention that Harry Maguire and Evans and Varane, there was a stat that said Varane's got more headed clearances than any other player, I think. Well, any other Man United player. I think it's for the minutes he's played as well. Fair play to the defenders. Because
I thought he was all right, Varane, today. Like, I have to look at the goal they scored, but I thought on the ball he was a lot better, and it worries me about Lindelof going in at left back. Yeah. Because if we take Dalot and stick him at left back, I think we lose a hell of a lot. Like, we tried that really weird ball over the top to Dalot twice, which I really like, because when you make that run from right back, you cross maybe 4 or 5 different people's zones, and they've all got to pass him off, and it can cause all sorts of trouble, a really deep run like that. But when you have Varane playing right-sided centre-back and Lindelof as the left back, you're asking for trouble with passing out of the back. And I felt that Varane was on edge today, but did all right. So I'm quite happy with Varane.
Lucky thing saying Evans done well with his heading, for sure. Hojlund did well, as what said Rajat. How you doing, Rajat, as well?
Of course. How can you not mention a 2-goal player for in the running for man of the match?
And McTominay, man of the match, him coming on and kept us winning again. Unbeaten now in the league. So yeah, keep typing away, reporter. You're getting here short-handed. So yeah, that's a wrap for us. Dora, hopefully we'll see you again very soon.
Yeah, hope so too. It sounded really dark, but yeah. I'm always.
Any plans for the rest of the evening for you?
I'll probably play a video game. I'll probably catch up with other, Manchester United fans and their thoughts on the game, and then I'll probably play a game or something before I go to sleep.
Dota?
So, no, I actually just downloaded Dishonored 2, so I played the first one,
nice.
and I will probably play that as well. So yeah, I'm excited.
And bath time, any plans for the remainder of the evening?
I'm definitely going to have something to eat. Like I'm about to like eat the screen. I will probably go and check in on our friends Rick Sports. I'm just going to put his link in the chat if you want to continue watching Manchester United content. And I will also be thinking about what we're going to do on the eye test. So if you have any suggestions, stick them in the comments, the right below comments after the chat. Leave a like, and yeah, that's about it.
Can we just quickly say hello to Brush? Brush, haven't seen you for ages, man. Lucky Singh saying yes, Brush. We love you, Brush. Hope you're doing well, man. Good to see you on the show. Yeah, we will be back tomorrow. Thanks, Dora. Thanks, Bath Time, and thanks to everyone in the comments. Another win. We're climbing up the table, closing the gap on Spurs. Next up, as well, is Villa, 5 points ahead of us. So we keep chugging along. Big up Man United. Big up Ten Hag for making the subs today. Big up for the brace from our very own Rasmus Hojlund. He's really on form at the moment, so you have to give him a pat on the back. So we'll be back tomorrow for the eye test. Dora will be back with us during the week. Everyone, thanks for tuning in. And it's a 2-1 win away at the Mad Hatters. And we'll see you later, guys.